Welcome to another one of my cheesy YouTube videos. On this video, I'm going to introduce you to a new project I'm going to be working on. I've got several projects I'm going to be working on at the same time, so bear with me. I've got this old Dodge Power Wagon. I got a 68 swept line my wife wants fixed up, and I'll be doing some tiller repairs. This is my neighbor's Ranger that the steering's out, and I told him I would check it out for him, along with other videos as they pop up. Let me show you this old Power Wagon. And I did as I usually do. I screwed up and started work on it without videoing. This is a certifiable rust bucket that I picked up for a small fortune, it and another one. And my goal is to turn this into a beauty. We'll find out. The engine was locked up, so yesterday I went ahead and pulled the head off to take a peek inside. I've discovered that the head gasket looks like it's blown between 3 and 4, but it's cylinder number 2 that's full of water. The head looks nasty. Whether it'll clean up good enough to do anything with, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking I'll get it cleaned up. But I'll show you something. This is the capillary tube for the temperature gauge. Chemicals flow through it, and inside the tube that screws inside the head, there's a little bulb full of a substance. And as the temperatures rise, the substance increases in pressure, goes through this capillary tube. Well, it's in the capillary tube anyway, so everything increases in pressure and pushes the needle over on the gauge. But I noticed that they've got this capillary tube ring twisted right here. You do not twist the capillary tube. If you look at the directions for them, there's going to be a certain amount of allowable bend radius that you can do, but you don't do this because it'll ruin the capillary tube. So anyways, just wanted to show you that. I used a 11/16 6-point socket to take the head bolts off. You get into something nasty like this, don't even bother with 12-point. You're just going to strip them. Get a good 6-point, get a good fit before you even attempt to take it off. There's a couple of bolts that are drilled out on the top. And this front corner bolt broke off, which I'm not too worried about right now. We'll work on it later. Number 2 cylinder was full of antifreeze. And as you can see, the valves look terrible. At least several of them do. Number 2's valves the chamber around the valves are nasty. Number 4 are pretty nasty. So it's pretty nasty inside the water jacket. I mean, real nasty. I do have some flathead Dodge Chrysler flathead engine and parts laying around, so hopefully I'll have enough to put together a good engine. Here's the bottom side of the head. This again is number 2, and here's number 4. It's not much prettier. An important thing to remember when working with rusty stuff is the scale from rust will swell up many more times than the actual damage it's done to the metal surface. So clean it up before you make any rash decisions on it not being any good. This Power Wagon was owned by Dow Chemical. It's got this crazy winch assembly on it with a gearbox below the winch, driving the winch with the chain. And the gearbox also was driving a forward-facing 6-blind PTO. Above the winch is a fair lead for running a cable up and over the cab. I'm assuming this was used in a real caustic environment. So they fiberglassed over the tops of the front fenders, which may have saved the fenders, though this passenger side fender is rotted pretty bad on the bottom. Now, I can't brag as to how nicely the cab was saved. It's not. There's a lot of rot along the bottom of the cab, the bottom of the doors, behind the doors. I believe that one of the good parts about the cab is I think the roof is in pretty decent shape, though up front here there's been some Bondo work. But the window frame for the front windshield that opens up is totally gone and rotten on the bottom. The floorboards have been patched. It does have a heater unit. How bad it is, I can't tell you. Probably bad enough. It has some of its headliner interior lining that maybe I can get some patterns out of it. And also this one has the Bosch electric wipers as opposed to the vacuum wipers that come on most of them. Came with a flatbed, which I'm not thinking that I'm going to keep. And I also picked up another cab with it, which has some good parts, but it does have its fair share of rot on it. See up through here where you can see through the cab, through some holes. But some of it's pretty good. I've also picked up a couple other trucks for their cabs and doors. We can rest assured that this cab will not be on this truck when we're done. It's just too far gone. Again, there's the rot by the window. Stepped on the running board the other day and it actually broke off. So some of the things I'll be doing to this truck in the beginning is peeling off the fenders and all the body parts. Getting rid of this massive front bumper. We'll see what we've got as far as decency of the frame, and we'll start building from there. This one's got a title, so in some form or fashion, this truck I plan to make running again. And I'm thinking I'm going back with a Flathead 6 and going to try to keep it original. I like playing and making my own things and reinventing the wheel, but sometimes it's nice to keeping the things the way they were. Before I get started on other projects today, I'm going to go ahead and soak this block to hopefully free up the rust, free up my pistons. Cleaning it up right now, soaking up some water that's in the bottom of number 2. Actually, it's got quite a bit of water in there. Had to be on the bottom of the stroke, didn't it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Block's no good. Son of... Block is no good. There's a hole in it. No need to go any further with this block. Don't know if you can see, but there's a big old cutout, and I can stick my finger into the water jacket. So much for that idea. The next trick is to check out some other blocks I got and see if I got anything that looks like it's rebuildable. I hope you follow the progress of this video. And remember, if you love life and learning new things, go aimless.com.